Is the agony of posing worth the price? How much real estate does he occupy? Why did I think it was pronounced Doc Ock? Find out some of these answers in this week's review of Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock. Otto Octavius is a nuclear physicist working for Oscorp Industries. Tired of only having two arms like a sucker, Otto attaches AI robotic tentacle arms straight into his spine. But don't worry, a nearer link in the back of his skull makes sure that he's in control and not the other way around.
Oh, thanks, Freddy, foreshadowing.
Otto struggles to stabilize a fusion reactor. The experiment goes horribly wrong, giving the AI mechanical arms control, whispering sweet nothings into Otto's ear.
Oh, that's not right. No.
Articulation, bruh. The bushy eyebrows not being visible behind those glasses does kind of throw off the likeness a bit. And for those who are wondering, the glasses are not removable. Doc Ock's head's on a double ball joint, allowing him to look down a good amount, not up very much. There is some left to right, and a decent amount of tilt. Opening up the double-layered trench coat, you can see that metal harness is a free-floating piece. I believe it's a ball joint, not giving you a lot of movement, but there is some swivel. Even with that trench coat, you still get a full 360. There is a bicep swivel, a pinless single jointed elbow. It's more of a Black Series style of elbow, with a deep cut. Like I said, there is a bicep swivel, but there's also a swivel at the elbow there. Arms ball and hinge all the way up. Hands do rotate and hinge down and up. Legs can kick up to Jock's Cup. Out a good amount. There's an upper thigh swivel. A pinless double jointed knee that if you do bend it through the slit there, you can get it a little bit further back. He's wearing shoes, so there's no boot swivel. Feet hinge down all the way, up not as much, and rocks like Kid Rock's lyrics. Accessories! Does this purse go with my bra, brah?
Doc Ock comes with a set of fisted hands, a right relaxed hand, and a left gripping hand, but nothing to grip. Straight out of the box, the tentacles are stiffer than RoboCop's acting, so I'll give all my Doc Ocks a toy bath to loosen them up. What the hell? That wasn't the clip. I guess that's better. After they're all heated up, grip the entry point like a vice when bending and be careful not to stress the plastic. I've heard horror stories where the tentacles have broke. The tentacles are not removable, and there's no rotation where they attach in the back. I assume that's for stability reasons. And while there's plenty of fish in the sea for an octopus, the Doc's options for tentacle heads isn't too shabby either. The splayed out claws help with supporting Otto's weight in the pose most of the community currently have him in, but even they'll tell you, it's not as easy as it looks. The grasping claw is in a fixed position and can support the weight of another figure, but you will need to counterbalance. The hinge on the articulated claws may loosen up over time. I think I'll opt to keep one of them closed just in case. I feel bad for anyone that had to George Costanza the packaging out of the garbage because they didn't notice the articulated claw was taped to the back of the cardboard.
Stupid trash, rotten, stinky, hate world, revenge soon, take out on everyone.
Go sit yourself.
He can sit himself, but Doc Ock cannot go sit himself. At least not in a chair with back support.
Alright, first up we've got a comic book version of the character with a very animated expression, rocking a wired lab coat back when Hasbro thought that yellow was orange. Here's Marvel Legends Doc Ock. And a more accurate representation of how he appeared in Spider-Man 2, here's the shirtless Toy Biz Doc Ock. Fixing Doc Ock ain't nothing but a thing. But here he is in his final swing, attire. Here's Spider-Man. And jockeying for position, trying to do better, the OG Spider-Man. I wonder if the intelligence of the brain that he's eating matters. Like, if he was to eat Doc Ock's brain, would it be just better nutrition for him? Would it keep him fed longer? Anyway, here's Venom. And lastly, I don't know what he's doing here, but I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Here's Vulture. Think unsexy thoughts. Think unsexy thoughts.
Not only do the tentacles fight Doc Ock, they'll fight you too. I've been accidentally knocking off tentacle heads as I pose them, so I've been posing them where I want them and then popping the heads back on. Once you've heated up the tentacles, you are able to coil them around other figures, something the previous Toy Biz Doc Ock couldn't do because it wasn't long enough. I will say I prefer the design of the Toy Biz tentacles better, not only the way they look, but how easy they move. There are trade-offs though. While you can rotate them at the entry point, the tentacles being removable meant that you couldn't hold any weight.
Whoops, a crack in the floor.
And that's where the Doc Ock shines. It may take some patience, but once you find the center of gravity, he can be suspended in midair while playing the claw game with his bewildered enemies.
Ooh! Enough! You have our attention.
But in case you are limited in space because you've been slowly occupying every surface area in your apartment with figures, check out this video on how to hang your action figures from the ceiling. Doing a side-by-side, you definitely see Alfred Molin in here. Kinda looks like someone squished his head though. Speaking of heads, I can't tell if the forehead is too big or the bowl cut sits too high up. The trench coat doesn't limit articulation as much as you'd think, and while I prefer double jointed elbows, Octavius does most of his fighting with his other arms. Posing the tentacles is work, and not being able to remove them takes up a fair amount of real estate. But when you pose him up with Spider-Man and get that shot, it's totally worth it.
I regret nothing. The end.